Hello, everybody. My name is Centerpoint, and today I want to talk to you about MMOs, or more specifically, what I want out of an MMO. Now, to give some background, I haven't actually played a whole lot of MMOs. I think really all I've played is World of Warcraft, is the most time I've put into one, but even then, it's not a whole lot of time. The Star Wars MMO, which I think I only played for a few hours. Terra Online, which I only played for a few hours. EVE Online, which, as much as I try to get into that game, it's really hard. And I think that's about it. Those four games have kind of become my only basis of what MMO should be. And I'd rather take the best elements from those games and just kind of make my own thing. So, to bring up some problems with MMOs right now, I think a big one is the landscape of MMOs. It doesn't make any sense. Why do most MMOs have zones? Like, why is there civilization right here, and then 10 feet from civilization, a bunch of enemies that are just wandering around? And if you walk those 10 feet, you can fight them. And if you walk 10 feet back, you're safe. Doesn't make any sense. And it also doesn't make a whole lot of sense of why you can clear out an area and then move on and never return. Like, going back to old zones and old areas just isn't really a thing you have to do in almost any game. Usually the only places you revisit are the super high level areas, and even then there's no reason to in a lot of games. So why? I think we should just get rid of it entirely. Make it more based around wilderness, real wilderness. I want to start out in a civilization. I want to be able to, when I leave that civilization, be able just to wander around outside of it for a little while, being relatively safe. And then there are some few monsters that are coming close, but usually, most of them stay away, unless they're kind of stupid. But the further and further you go out, the worse and worse it gets. And it's not really based on a certain particular chunk of land as much as just you are really going away from the safety net, and the farther you go, the worse it gets. That's kind of what I'd want. Another thing that I'd like to see kind of gotten rid of from MMOs, or at least my ideal MMO, is the class system. Like, if I want to play a big buff dude who has a big old shield and a big old sword, why does that stop me from learning how to do other things, like pickpocket? Sure, it's not ideal, but why not let me customize? Why have that restriction? And I understand, like, it would be stupid if you could learn, like, a super high-level spell on a guy who's otherwise a super tank, but you can have, like, ways to make sure people don't do that. You can make it where, unless you've spent a lot of time in spells, you have a limited amount of slots, and, like, there are just restrictions for that. Or, like, if your character is more honor bound than not, like, your character wouldn't want to learn how to pickpocket and steal things in the first place. So, like, maybe that's not a thing he does. But, like, otherwise, let the players have the freedom to choose what they want. If I want to be a guy with 2 shields and who breathes fire and can turn water to wine, let me have my fun. Maybe there's some niche in the game where some people really need a 2-shield fire breathing wine seller. We don't know. Something else that I'd like to see taken away from MMOs is this hero status. why are we treated as the heroes? And not like, oh, every single player is a hero. No, like, it's usually very specific, like, oh, wow, you need to help us because we are in trouble and you are the chosen one. Dude, I just want to be a normal dude. If I choose to go out there and be a hero, that's on me. If I choose to stick around and be like maybe like a farmer or some kind of more business-oriented guy, then yeah, I'm not a hero. I'm a more business-oriented guy. That's why I'm doing it. Let me have my own way. Not that there aren't objectives and things that you need to be doing, but like there's no reason to look at me and say you are the hero. You're the chosen one. No, just let me be some normal little midget man who doesn't do anything heroic at first. Make me work for it. One of my favorite things about MMOs is in a really weird way, it's the grinding. And a lot of people don't like grinding, and that's not, super popular, but it's what makes it fun for me. And not like boring grinding, I mean hard grinding. In World of Warcraft now, you can get yourself to at least level 60 with no issues. You don't even have to really think about it, and you're all the way to 60. There's no issue. Like you're good to go. Like you can just mindlessly spam buttons and you're fine. Once you hit level 60, you have to think about it a little bit, but until then, you're good. It used to be in World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King is when I played the most, that even the super low level areas where you were first fighting monsters was difficult. I remember trying to kill monsters or kill the kobolds in the mines, and you had to really think about it and make sure not to aggro too many monsters, because if you aggro too many, they'd all come at you and they'd all kill you. There was a lot of camaraderie that you could build up just by everyone trying to deal with the simple kobolds. Like, they're not even boss monsters, but like because of the way they spawned, and you had to learn how to space them out. You couldn't just mindlessly go in there, kill them all, and leave. You had to pick one off at a time. And if you got trapped in the caves, you had to pray someone would go in and get you out of there. It was hard and it was fun. I felt that real sense of pride and accomplishment, and even Hogger was hard. Like, you had to really strategize a little bit. No, I'm not saying it was hard strategizing, but you had to put in effort. Nowadays, most MMOs, you can solo Hogger. It's not even a big deal. Most MMOs, I feel like, allow you to perform group tasks while being alone, just to give the solo players something more fun to do. But it's not, I don't know. If I like playing solo, I really do, but I like working for it too. And so many MMOs nowadays just don't have that. Terra didn't have that in the small amount of time I played it. The Star Wars MMO didn't have it. EVE Online has it, but EVE Online is so ridiculously hard to get into that it's an entire monstrosity of its own. And World of Warcraft used to have all the great things of it. Why do we need to have similar play styles for every class? Why can't we have an MMO where if you are playing a different class, you do different things? Let's say I am playing, not class. I screwed this whole thing up, but not class. Let's say you want to use a gun, right? It's a first-person shooter now. That's just how it is. Maybe there's some things that you can use that will help you aim better, or, like it'll tell you vital spots, or you can upgrade better weapons. But like for you, your purpose in the game is to get better at aiming, get better at, kiting out monsters, or whatever, and upgrading your weapons so that they become better and better and better. Why would a mage have to follow those rules at all? Or why would a gunslinger have to follow the rules of a mage? Let the mages play Osu from like 100 feet away in order to call down lightning strikes. That'd be kind of fun. Like the mage having to perform this odd set of tasks in order to enchant and recite this spell for it to come down and nuke an area. Or even like the healing spells, like why not have them do something that more relates to the act of enchanting? Why point and clicks aren't like that? It doesn't make you feel like you've done anything with a spell. It feels like you've pressed a button, you got a spell on you now, baby. And the way a lot of games try to make this a little bit better is they add a cast time to it. Cast times suck. Cast times are the worst. Remove cast times entirely, or make those cast times, you do something during those cast times to maybe increase the effectiveness, like play Osu. Like just put a miniature Osu in the game that you have to play in order for your spell to be max effectiveness. And yeah, is it a gimmick? Sure. Is it a fun gimmick? Probably. I'm not good at Osu. I suck at it, but like that would be that's the kind of thing that would make being a mage interesting. And of course, none of these things that I'm mentioning now have to be exact. But it's just things that I think would be fun. Here's something else. Let's say everyone starts out in one civilization, right? I want to be able to build a new one. I think being able to go out into the wilderness and carve out your own new civilization. You have to really work for it now, but you can carve out your new civilization and make it stand on its own. That would be fun. A form of real player interaction. And I know there are supposedly a few games like that, but I really feel like those games aren't as civilization minded. They're more like, oh yeah, you can go out and build some cool stuff on your own. Like you can have your own castle out there with servants following you. Yeah. No, I mean, I want to see a civilization that is entirely player driven, and you can get NPCs to come, sure, but like you have to build up a town and a city, and you have to defend it, and have the flexibility in the game where the admins of the game can go in and say, yes, this is now a civilization. We grant you the title of civilization. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. And then the whole map can change. Everything can change. That brings me right into something else. I want admins to have the power to add things in the game off the top of their head. I have to have admin-induced events, not game-induced, admin-started. So, like, an admin decides, hey, it'd be fun if a giant monster attacked in the middle of your festival. Evil, right? Yeah, sure. But then maybe another day, it could just be beautiful weather, and that's an admin-induced event. It doesn't have to be like all negatives. It could be some positives too. But like have real player DMing, I guess. Yeah, have DMs. Have an in-game DM is the best way to put it. That'd be fun. And I'm not sure how entirely easy that would be, but I think, yeah, it's good. It's good. I think the last and most important thing that I want any MMO to have is a real sense of uniqueness to the stuff that you've accomplished. And I don't mean randomly generated stuff that only you got to experience. No, I mean like, if you were the one to kill the Lich King, you got his sword. That's yours. No one else's. It's just yours. Nobody else could fight the Lich King again because he's already dead. You did it. That's on you. Have a game where the obstacles in the game are really something that are looked on and people say, you were the first. You were the only one to do this. Congratulations. I want to be able to make a sword that is unique to me. I want to be able to fight a monster that when it drops some things, I can pick up those resources and I can make something truly alone. I want to kill the Lich King. I want to be the only one to kill the Lich King. And it's hard to make things like that because you're making a lot of gameplay that most people couldn't experience. But I think one really easy way to get around that is just to make it hard. Make it so that most people will have the chance to beat the Lich King. But they can't. They fail. But the one guy who does, after like a month of trying, he gets it. And he's praised for it. Now that is a sense of pride and accomplishment I can get behind. My name is Centerpoint 360. If you liked this video, leave a like. Subscribe. Donate to me on Patreon if you want to have me do silly things. I'm taking requests to talk about anything. Literally anything. Just please not porn. Thank you very much.